Hey, it's Soul with another video. So I missed out on a pretty interesting poll Blizzard put out the other day about voting for dungeons in Season 3, and I think we should talk about what that means, kind of peel the layers away and all that. So let's chill, let's have a chat, because I'm interested to hear what you think. Please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, and catch me live when I'm streaming. The poll is to vote for your favorite dungeon in the War Within so far, and the top voted dungeons are going to be part of the Season 3 lineup according to their post. Season 3 is guesstimated though to begin around mid-August if we were to just count 8 weeks per patch over and over again. And so far there's a fair bit of confidence they'll stick to that until the end of the year with, like the holidays and everything, just like last year. So maybe it sounds like it's too soon to start talking about the Season 3 dungeon lineup, and yet, well, considering what they're trying to do here, how soon is too soon? The wording from their post strongly suggests Blizzard is going to decide maybe like 3 or 4 dungeons in the lineup. Now, those could be repeats, they could be some new dungeons, dungeons that are new to the Mythic Plus lineup. Like, what would people think of a Mythic Shadow Laboratory or Sunken Temple or Violet Hold? I'm just kidding about that one, but I guess back to the timing side of things. Because they're letting players vote. Whatever we're going to get might have little or maybe nothing to do with the actual lore coming with Season 3. You know how it was with Undermine, they had all this goblin stuff as part of the dungeon lineup. But we do know Season 3 will introduce a new dungeon. It's not a mega dungeon, but it's going to be a dungeon, which tells me, of course, that's going to be a part of the Season 3 lineup, and they're confident they can launch it as a Mythic Keystone Dungeon straight away. I think of Legion's, Cathedral of the Eternal Night and the Seat of Triumvirate. Those were immediate Keystone Dungeons when they were introduced, if I recall correctly, and also, if I recall correctly, those were kind of a nightmare. So I'm just guessing here, obviously. We're gonna get like maybe 4 dungeons by player vote. One is going to be the new dungeon, and then of the remaining 3 slots, at least there's going to be at least like maybe 1 newly converted dungeon, like something from like vanilla or whatever, and then the rest will be some sadistic favorites from the WoW team. Deciding to do this by vote was certainly a choice, right? Like, anyone subscribed to the game can vote, except for some folks like me whose accounts are bugged on the forums and we can't even choose a character, and so we can't even vote or see the results. That's a hint, by the way, forum devs, please fix your page. So I poked around, and whatever you see on screen, this seems to be the current results over on the US side, and it seems to reflect the player sentiment. I guess it's the dungeon that gives the good gear, and maybe the other high selections are trolling. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a big dungeon person, so I wouldn't really know like which dungeon is what. And this is kind of the problem with these kinds of votes, right? We won't get a pristine result where the most vested of players participate, and we can't really do anything like that anyway. Like what should they do? Should they like gatekeep this? Like, should only players with a IO score of this and higher be able to vote? This early in the season with only a 1-week window? Yeah, that's going to go real well. I kind of prefer voting for dungeon, at least, over voting for gear like we did during Dragonflight, so let's cross our fingers and hope for not that in the future. I've seen some chatter from a few folks, though, that they're basically saying, yes, this confirms 100% there will be no Season 4 of The War Within. And I'm the total opposite. I've been saying this ever since we saw the War Within roadmap. To me, this confirms 100% there will be a Season 4 of The War Within. The language of the post is pretty clear. It says when Season 3 comes around, we're planning to make sure the Mythic Plus rotation includes the top dungeons that you vote for in this poll. Now, with 9 dungeons as a selections, including the new one with the season, I'm like 102% confident. Like, dude, they didn't make a poll to just exclude 2 of the 9 dungeons and then add a new one to the lineup, and then, hey, there you go. Just like Dragonflight, they're gonna have a Season 4. What's speculative is the timing of everything. Dragonflight was kind of weird because there was a 10.2.6 patch with Plunderstorm, and then a month later, Season 4 started requiring no patch, and then there was a 10.2.7 story patch, and then finally the pre-patch for the War Within. I'm speculating it's going to play out a little bit differently this time because at least on the 2025 roadmap, we already have an 11.2.7 set up. And it's looking stacked even though we've yet to get any official announcement. Player housing is going to be a thing in some form, and now that we've seen what we've seen, you can bet Blizzard has a great incentive to make the feature like a pre-order bonus for midnight. Like maybe people can get an early preview, but everyone gets access with the 12.0 pre-patch, or at the very least launch it for all subscribers, but include some additional housing cosmetics by pre-ordering, because folks will take that offer without blinking, I'm sure. The Legion Remix is also going to be a thing too. That's also not announced, but obviously happening. Now, of course, what about the gamers who don't care about the remix, who don't care about housing, but still want to play World of Warcraft? Well, I guess they get nothing because Season 4 is, quote, bad for the game. That's what some people figure, but I'm almost certain it's going to happen. We might as well give progression-minded players that last hurrah with the round of War Within raids and the original 8 dungeons as the final season, just like they did in Dragonflight. The WoW approach has been very clear these days. Like, let's give people things to do, and they can decide for themselves whether to pick it up or not. But as for exactly when Season 4 will start and how long that'll be, it's still a little bit up in the air because, well, with the War Within roadmap, it already is kind of deviating from Dragonflight. I already talked about like the patch scheduling there. But anyway, I veered way off, so I'll give the floor to you folks. What do you think of Blizzard giving players a bit of control over the next season? So please share your thoughts or speculation in the comments, and I'll see you Monday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.